inside the enemy lines, and overnight I changed my shape to fit with something. You won't let me out, keep pulling me down. You kept me afraid until now, with your head full of lies, head full of lies. Consumed by my rage, I ran far from the words that you say. And by the way,
recent discoveries have uncovered dates, agendas, and goals that connect the Jesuits to a massive deception for the purpose of a multifaceted end-time delusion. This delusion will be a demonic attack under the pretext of an alien invasion. Reportedly, Vladimir Lenin observed, "A lie told often enough becomes the truth." This quote is discovered within the belief of most. The Earth is a sphere. It spins through space while orbiting the Sun, hurtling thousands of kilometers an hour inside our Milky Way galaxy. So ingrained is this belief, if one speaks of the words flat Earth, listeners snicker. A globe Earth, because unproven, is pseudoscience, yet believed worldwide and passed from generation to generation, and any who question it is mocked and ridiculed.
The more you begin to investigate what we think we understand, where we came from, what we think we're doing, the more you begin to see we've been lied to. We've been lied to by every institution. What makes you think for 1 minute that the religious institution is the only one that's never been touched? The religious institutions of this world are at the bottom of the dirt. The religious institutions in this world are put there by the same people who gave you your government, your corrupt education, who set up your international banking cartels, because our masters don't give a damn about you or your family. All they care about is what they have always cared about, and that's controlling the whole damn world.
Guy right here is a Freemason. Clapping their heads off. You know why? Because this place is such an abomination, and it's really, really sad what our country has come to. That, look at this. If it couldn't be more obvious, that's the Freemasonic hand sign.
Pope Francis.
Oh, it's such an honor, they say. Such an honor. But you know what he's really done? Is he's filled it with the leaven of his own self-idolatry, and the 666, as you see the hand sign right there.
One day, Allah, the figure of Moses
leads us directly to God. Leads us directly to God.
This is a shocker to a lot of people. There are satanic practices going on at the Vatican. Could that be true? Yes.
Leads us directly to God.
We have been misled away from the true and divine presence in the universe that men have called God. I don't know what God is, but I know what he isn't. And unless and until you are prepared to look at the whole truth, and wherever it may go, whoever it may lead to, if you want to look the other way, or if you want to play favorites, then somewhere along the line you're going to find out you're messing with divine justice. The more you educate yourself, the more you understand where things come from, the more obvious things become, and you begin to see lies everywhere. You have to know the truth and seek the truth, and the truth will set you free.
Following a tradition by which I feel honored, the Secretary General of the United Nations has invited the Pope to address this distinguished assembly of nations.
Pope Francis, the head of the Jesuit order, announced through his cantor of the coming to light of the Antichrist.
Flammas eius, Lucifer matutinus indeniat, ille in quam Lucifer qui nescito casum, Christus filius tuus, qui regressus ab inferis, humano generis serenus illuxit, et tecum vivit et regnat in saecula saeculorum.
During this pronouncement, the cantor called Lucifer God, claiming Lucifer to be the father of Jesus Christ. The cantor acknowledged Lucifer as the Antichrist himself and worshipped him. To this, a great crowd and the whole world sang,
In 1536, Cardinal Schönberg, who was Archbishop of Capua, urged Copernicus to fully publish his theory, or at the least have a copy made at the cardinal's expense. Copernicus' theory of a heliocentric universe was well known at the upper strata of the Catholic Church in his lifetime. He ultimately agreed to publish his manuscripts on the persistent appeals of high church officials. Catholics were not first to reject Copernicus' views, for they themselves admit opposition was first raised against the Copernican system by Protestant theologians for biblical reasons. The Catholic Church advanced Copernicus' heliocentric model, constantly urging him to spread it abroad, together with other theories that opposed the sacred scriptures. The necessity to change public conception from an accurate belief in a flat, enclosed earth to a false belief grew slowly. With sapient baby steps, the whole world would become amenable to the final delusion of an alien invasion under the first woe.
Aliens are real. They are serious and they are many. They exist. Anyone who tells you otherwise doesn't know what they're talking about.
In the early 16th century, Nicolae Copernicus introduced a different model of the universe in which the sun lay at the center and the earth revolved around it. Copernicus' heliocentric model is taught today, while the earlier geocentric model has been utterly rejected. The Catholic hierarchy had the perfect opportunity to lay groundwork for a global deception to culminate in this Earth's final generation. This deception required a globe Earth spinning throughout the vast reaches of space, space inhabited by aliens and other sentient life forms. These contrivances created doubt in the Bible, putting science ahead of Scripture, which advises mankind the earth is enclosed and unmoving. They also place the Creator far away from His creation by presenting a universe unimaginably vast. To engineer this transformation in belief, the Jesuits became the agents of change. The Roman Catholic Church was waging war on the new Protestantism believers having come from their own system, while Copernicus was resisting appeals to publish his theory of a heliocentric solar system. Under the approval of Pope Paul III, the Jesuit order was established in 1540, and Copernicus dedicated his book, Revolutions of the Heavenly Bodies, to this very same Pope. This newly formed order, the perfect instrument to implement a clandestine operation for the Pope of Rome, began changing the public perception of the authority of the Scriptures, the earth, and the Creator through the Copernican Revolution. By deliberately teaching their followers to invite demonic spirits into their human spirits, the Jesuits exposed what manner of mankind each truly was.
Let me tell you something. If some of these folks were around when Columbus set sail, they must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society. They would not have believed that the world was round. You know, if these guys were around when Columbus set sail, they'd be charter members of the Flat Earth Society. It's the current members of the Flat Earth Society in Congress. You know, they seem a little bit confused about what I'm saying. The current members of the Flat Earth Society, they would not have believed other politicians. And again, I just want everybody to be clear, because sometimes when you listen to the news and you listen to some of these other politicians, they seem a little bit confused about Columbus and Congress. There's the Flat Earth Society.
Of course you're uncertain, Cal. Naturally, so was I, till I met him. But now imagine, if you can, a life without uncertainty, freedom from doubt, the ability to choose, single-mindedness.
One life from each of us, Cal, is all he asks, and he rewards our devotion 1,000-fold.
Personal desires, oh yes, of course, anything. That's part of it.
It's only the beginning.
There was a time, Cal, when man was at one with the gods, before the fall. Now we're at one again.
Cal, we want you to join us.
You know, I got cut off on a radio show that was supposedly people fighting for the truth in this country. The very moment I started talking about mind control, the music came on. You must assess this world with truth. You must be as a child, meaning pre-programming. That's part of what entering heaven as a child means. You have to be honest with yourself about this world. You're told right off the bat you're on Earth. How do you know? Why? Because other humans tell you that? They've told you that's where you are, that this is life, the food chain is normal, biology says so. How do you know that? You're trusting everything you've been told. If your instinct, which is valid, tells you that doesn't make sense, you're right. That's what building your house in a rock means. You must know thyself.
Then it's time to cram us into the airlock. But before that, we always indulge in a few pagan rites to appease the EVA gods.
A few pagan rites to appease the EVA gods.
My mind was blank. I needed time to think, get the memories from my mind. What did I see? Can I believe that what I saw that night was real and not just fantasy? Just what I saw in my own dreams were the reflections of
total number of quarks in this universe are 6. 6
quarks. In my dreams, it's always there. The evil face that twists my mind brings me to despair. 6, 6, 6, the number of the beast. Hell and fire respond to be released.
And it is a chilling photo of what appears to be devil horns on Obama's head during his last presidential address. He's got horns coming out of the side and on top of his head.
The torches blazed, sacred chants were praised, and as they start to cry, their hands held to the sky. In the night, fires burning bright. The ritual has begun. Satan's work is done. 6, 6, 6, the number of the beast. Sacrifice is going on tonight.
I have 2 words for you. Predator drones. You will never see it coming. You think I'm joking? You think I'm joking? You think I'm joking? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
I'm coming back. I will return, and I'll possess your body, and I'll make you burn. I have the fire, I have the force, I have the power to make my evil
Yes, we can. Thank you, Satan. 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 Thank you, Satan.
Let's see, so we've got Koichi there. You see the 6 of them. We go up in groups of 3, and then when we get up there, there'll already be 3 people up there. So Koichi is going to come home with his 2 Russian cosmonaut crewmates, and when after he lands, another 3-person crew will go up, and will be a 6-person crew again. So at any one moment, there are always 6 people doing science, making amazing things happen, and being just plain old people and doing things like playing music on the space station.
The Jesuit founder, Ignatius of Loyola, had taught all members of the Society of Jesus certain spiritual exercises which made them practical, mind-controlled slaves to Satan. They were to daily become as corpses or cadavers, that they unhesitatingly obey the will of their superiors. In opening the mind to the influence of demons, these Jesuits brought in a spirit of malevolence, a demonic intelligence that was unprecedented in Catholicism. Now, satanically controlled, the Jesuit priests became successful in every evil endeavor. They became infamous for their skill at deception and subterfuge, their ability to infiltrate governments and institutions of learning, their standing as advisors to kings and new leaders in education. The very influence they wielded was tantamount to becoming humanly insurmountable. Working through government entities and in the field of world education, they guide scientific research to further their own ends and present the biggest lie of all time, a globe Earth. Following Copernicus' publications, it is probable the Jesuit order has produced more astronomers than any other demographic in Europe. A globe Earth, its orbit of the Sun for millions of miles every year, illimitable realms of space with billions of galaxies, each composed of billions of stars with worlds innumerable. All this became necessary to explain the new heliocentric model of the universe, and mankind, over a short time, lost his divine significance. Thereafter was created an environment within which the writings of Charles Darwin found a receptive audience. Once science showed the Bible wrong, the disparager then diverged from her religious guise altogether. Anything suddenly became possible. There was nothing above question, including how the earth seemed to appear in the vastness of space with all else, and the existence of extraterrestrials.
First of all, I agree Jesus Christ is the Lord. I believe in that.
There's no doubt about it that there have been and still are practices that are formally venerating Lucifer, the prince of this world. There's no doubt about that. But there's no doubt about it that satanic or Luciferian practices, because it's really of the prince, and his name is Lucifer. He's in veneration of him and service of him that these actions have taken place and do take place.
So, Father, is it because this is such a holy place that it makes it a #1 target for Lucifer, or is it that there is a disease or a cancer within the Vatican makes it sound like Watergate.
I'll tell you what I think, Art. It is that amongst Luciferian organizations, there is a prophecy that if they can invade the citadel, and that's their name for the Vatican, they will have power for 1,000 years.
How close are they?
Very close.
What we have never found in the history of the Church since the ascension of our Lord, and that was when the Church was really set up, the Pentecost and the ascension, is that this is the first time we have undeniable proof that Satan has been enthroned in the Church by some of the Church's own churchmen. Jean Guiton said to him, Holiness, Sanctity, what do you think is the fate of the Church going to be? You have said that the smoke of Satan has in the Church and is wafting around the sanctuary altar. And Paul VI said, yes, he said, mon fils, my son, we have said that and it is true. Smoke of Satan.
Particular day by a certain group of people representing Luciferians all over the world, especially American Luciferians. It was done, especially American Luciferians. It was done. And therefore, in a certain sense, Lucifer has power. He doesn't own yet, but I'm sure he hopes to own some pope as his man. I'm sure he does.
Obama out.
The Big Bang Theory is, today, the leading explanation about how the universe began. At its simplest, it talks about the universe as we know it, starting with a small singularity, then inflating over the next 13.8 billion years to the cosmos that we know today. Priest Andrew Pinsent holds advanced degrees in theology from the Pontifical Gregorian University in Rome, as well as a doctorate in particle physics from Oxford. In January 2015, he wrote, "Being both a priest and a former particle physicist at CERN, I am often asked to give talks on faith and science. Quite often, young people ask me the following question: how can you be a priest and believe in the Big Bang? To which I am delighted to respond, we invented it. Or more precisely, priest Georges Lemaitre invented the theory that is today called the Big Bang, and everyone should know about him." The author of the Big Bang Theory was none other than the Jesuit-trained priest Georges Lemaitre.
Speaking to members of the Pontifical Academy of Science, the Pope said it is possible to believe in both, insisting God was responsible for the Big Bang from which all life evolved.
L'inizio del mondo non è opera del caos che deve a un altro la sua origine, ma deriva direttamente da un principio supremo che crea per amore. Il Big Bang, che oggi si pone all'origine del mondo, non contraddice l'intervento creatore divino, ma lo esige. L'evoluzione nella natura non contrasta con la nozione di creazione, perché l'evoluzione presuppone la creazione degli esseri.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
Morgan. Wolf, Reverend Gabriele Amorth made headlines around the world recently when he said the devil was present in the Vatican.
You're talking about something very real, aren't you?
Certo, realissima. Dico, se credete al Vangelo, credete all'esistenza del demonio.
Absolutely, very real.
As to the devil's presence in the Vatican, he says that's no surprise. He once had to perform an exorcism on another exorcist.
The first thing we need to do if we're going to find out if the devil is at the Vatican is take a tour underneath the Vatican. Now we will be exploring some of the rooms in this map.
we see that this is a mausoleum of Lucius Tullius Zethus. The Vatican goes on and explains that this room was used for offerings to the dead. So here in this room they have a vase which has the image of a Medusa. So here underneath the Vatican we have a Medusa. You think underneath the Vatican they would have things that are sacred to Christ and not foreign gods. Here we see that this is the mausoleum that is one of the largest and most luxurious mausoleums. It says that it was built at the beginning of the second half of the 2nd century. You would think if they were Christians, they would want to clean all this out. I can't imagine anybody who has a true church would keep idols in their churches, especially pagan idols left over from a bygone pagan era. Here is an idol, and this particular idol is an idol of a boy who was initiated into the cult of Isis. If it was a true church, it couldn't be doing it for the sake of art, especially with all the evil things that are happening in the Vatican. And as the priest earlier said, that evil does exist, the devil is real, as he admitted. But the hypocrisy of all of this is that they have all these evil images and idols underneath the Vatican of St. Peter's Basilica. We also see 2 figures of genuses with bat wings. As we move into the next room, room I, the details of the mosaic floor with Mercury and Pluto's chariot, they go on and explain that this theme is an explicit reference to the overcoming of death and the return of the afterlife. They describe it as a splendid mosaic floor of Mercury is depicted carrying a caduceus with wings at his ankles, walking in front, and a chariot carrying Pluto and his wife Persephone. So here we have all these Roman gods underneath the Vatican. As we move to room U, here we find the shock of all shocks. Here on the wall, it says there is a depiction of Lucifer. That is the light bearer, the morning star. On the opposite of the wall, there is a drawing of Vesper, the evening star, cosmic symbol of the human life cycle. We ask ourselves, why are they keeping this image of Lucifer underneath the Vatican? Again, you would think if you're a Christian church, you would not want to have any of these images. This is always their excuse, saving it for the sake of art. But for the true Christian, this is not an excuse, because we know if you're giving glory and propaganda to false deities and false pagan gods, what are you doing? You're in essence supporting the evil spiritual realm. This cannot be from God. And since Rome claims itself to be the one true church, you would think they would lead by example. But we think the answer for why all these images, idols, are kept underneath the Vatican is because what we're dealing with here is we're dealing with an apostate church that has always been apostate, and even now as it is filled with Freemasons. And so we know that the reason why they're keeping all this there now, and they're actually revealing this on their internet website, is because they want people to see this. They want people to see what they're really all about. For the masses who believe that Rome is still a pure church, they don't mind deceiving them into believing that they are still a Christian church. But we ask the question, why would you want to follow a pope who has all these evil things underneath his church? It's very clear by this depiction of Lucifer that the devil is in the Vatican. He's hidden way down underneath the Vatican at St. Peter's Basilica. Now, if you are a Catholic and you are watching this video, we want to encourage you to come out of that church. As you can see from these images and these idols that are kept underneath your church, we would hope that you would soberly think about these things and ask yourself the question, if my church is a true church, why is it promoting these things? What kind of things are done down there underneath the Vatican in secret when people aren't looking? God's judgment does sleep, and sometimes it sleeps for a long time. But when his judgment awakes, Hopefully it will not be too late for you.
Obamacare is great, and it's really working. Sign up now.
Men and women of the finest military in the world. Most of all, Admiral Mullen, Deborah, Michael and I.
Is that anything scary?
You know, well, when Michelle's mad, when Michelle's mad,
I searched my heart to feel something, but when you come to mine, my love is blind. Because of you I am unkind, with my head full of lies, head full of lies. Stay with me. Head full of lies. Deep abyss pulling you in, running through your veins like sin.
Do you think that the country will see the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman
we
president?
already have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a
I'm sorry, she's a what?
a transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
Operation Paperclip smuggled hundreds of Nazi scientists, including top SS officers on trial for war crimes, into the United States for use in America's Cold War space race. One of these Nazi Party members, Werner von Braun, was promoted to head up NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center. Under Operation Paperclip, some 350 German scientists and former intelligence agents were given visas and well-paying jobs. The purpose of this massive and illegal undertaking appears to have been for the establishment of a worldwide authority on all things relating to space and astronomy. NASA became the public face of space. It has long acted as a front, providing an unsuspecting world with pseudoscience legitimized by the backing of the U.S. government. NASA is its own monopoly. It controls the dissemination of public information on astronomy while hiding facts it does not want the public to know. For hundreds of years, the Vatican has owned more telescopes and observatories than any organization, private university, or government. NASA and the Vatican jointly own LUCIFER, the world's largest binocular telescope. According to the official Vatican website, the Vatican Observatory is one of the oldest astronomical institutes in the world. And yet, where are the photographs? Where are the news releases of the latest discoveries? Precisely what have the Jesuit astronomers been doing for the last 500 years? Only they know. NASA's public release of information promoting the idea of an expanding, thus ever larger universe of incomprehensible size has led to the supposition there must be alien life on other planets. In combination with Hollywood and the science fiction genre, NASA has created an environment in which contact with extraterrestrial life forms is both fearful yet desirous.
If I say that the world is round and someone else says it's flat, that's worth reporting. But you might also want to report on a bunch of scientific evidence that seems to support the notion that the world is round. But you might also want to report on a bunch of scientific evidence that seems to support the notion that the world is round.
I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I'm here to tell you how f***ing rad space is.
As Jamie said, the bungee and the slowing the film down, it got us kind of there, but the moment we were on the zero-G plane, it was like, boop, that was it. It was totally clear just by doing some physics equations about how fast things move within the moon's gravitational field. But, of course, watching someone do math on television isn't interesting.
Well, people love a good conspiracy theory. I mean, India in particular was mapping the exact landing locations, which were, by the way, six actual landings that we made there. It's you could kind of go there with one and say, say whatever you want, but we've been there 6 times. Give us a break.
That's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight. I'm losing my religion. Trying to keep up with you, and I don't know if I can do it. Oh no, I've said too much. I haven't said enough. I thought that I heard you laugh.
Doesn't that make you feel small? Like nothing even matters.
In other breaking news, the world is round, not flat.
On May 12, 2014, Pope Francis expressed a willingness to baptize extraterrestrials who indicated a desire for baptism. While the comment was clearly tongue-in-cheek, it made international headlines, this one crowing, "Cool Pope is so cool that he's willing to baptize Martians." Earlier it was stated, the Catholic hierarchy was presented with a perfect opportunity to lay the groundwork for a global deception to culminate in the final generation. The purpose for this intricate, multi-layered deception is to deceive the world's masses and create a desired outcome. To usher the world into a united one-world religion with the Pope reigning supreme, the devil will create a problem. This problem among Earth's citizenry will demand a solution. The solution will have a predetermined outcome. We know the alien invasion is the manufactured problem. Naturally, a representative of mankind will be chosen to negotiate a peace treaty with these invaders. The solution will be predetermined and under the direct control of Satan himself. Francis, the eighth and final Pope, steps forward to negotiate this faux peace. Francis has previously ensured he has sympathetic ties with all religions.
Why did he keep his mouth shut when they questioned him? A, they didn't want to know the truth, and B, they weren't going to give him 2 weeks to try to lead him to the truth. Therefore, he couldn't answer the questions. He just kept his mouth shut. And he knew they were all under demonic mind control. Forgive them, they know not what they do.
You looked around at this flat, beautiful land. This location is almost optimal for solar power generation. And not only because it's flat, the sun is traveling and there's no haze and it's absolutely clear. And not only because it's flat, the sun is traveling, and because it's flat, the sun is traveling, it's absolutely clear, and only because it's flat, the sun is traveling, and because it's flat.
This Jesuit conspiracy has taught the story of a globe Earth, circumnavigating the sun, itself spinning around the center of an immense galaxy which likewise speeds with over billions of galaxies throughout limitless space. The ultimate act will occur when Francis, as Satan's representative, assumes leadership of the world while negotiating a peace treaty on behalf of the human race with the fallen angels. Then Satan will have achieved his long-desired goal to rule the earth.
I cried unto God with my voice. I cried with my voice. I cried unto God with my voice. With my voice. In the day of my trouble, I sought the Lord. My soul refused to be comforted. I remembered God and was troubled. I complained and my spirit cried. I cried unto God with my voice. I cried with my voice. I cried unto God with my voice. Thou holdest mine eyes waking. I am so troubled I cannot speak. I call to remembrance my song in the night. I call to my song in the night. I cried unto God with my voice. I cried with my voice. I cried unto God with my voice.
Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video presentation. If you did, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like the video, and share it on your favorite social media sites. There's a lot more to come, so stay tuned and we'll see you back next time.